If you're turning to Instagram for food reviews, you should look no further than Jeremy Jacobowitz. We are going to meet up with him right now to try one of his favorite restaurants in Williamsburg.
Hey, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So where are we?
We are in Williamsburg.
Okay.
My neighborhood, my hometown. We're at 12 Chairs, one of my favorite restaurants in all of New York City, because there's a location here and a location in Soho, and it's Israeli.
Amazing. So what kind of food can we expect at 12 Chairs?
Israeli, sort of like mixed a lot of Mediterranean also, and I will say like, food is great, vibe is great, drinks are great, and it's perfect for everyone. Like this is the restaurant I take my parents to, and they're very, very picky, so that's always a good sign.
Oh, that's a great sign. Awesome. All right, so let's go check it out.
Let's do it.
Jeremy.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming on Under the Influence.
Yes, of course.
So we want to get to know a little bit more about you while we wait for our amazing food from 12 Chairs. You were born and raised in New York,
yes.
Went to NYU, so you know New York like the back of your hand.
I hope so.
Right, I would hope so by now. And you started working in TV when you were 19 years old.
Yes.
What type of TV was that?
So I first worked in food TV. So I worked for SNY, intern for SNY, which is the Mets network. Then I worked for WCBS here in New York, and then I worked for WWE. So I did that because I studied sports management at NYU. So that made sense at the time.
Right, it made sense to tie into the TV career.
Yeah, exactly. And then I did that for a few years, and the landscape is very, very different. This is a very long time ago. But then I found my way into food TV, and I was like, wow, like I've always loved food. I've always loved Food Network. I've always loved food television. But it took me being in that environment to be like, wow, like this feels much more like a place for me than sports TV. As much as I did love that, I was like, this is where I could be and I could grow. And I worked in food TV for years before all this online influencer stuff.
So who was your favorite, or what was your favorite food TV show to work for?
So when I started out as a PA, but then I was Bobby Flay's talent PA. So I did all the shows with Bobby.
That's sick.
I got to travel with Bobby. Anything with him is the best. But so I got to travel the country with Bobby and then producing other shows without Bobby, so food travel, stuff like that, and it really was a dream. And I did that for a few years, but I started this little Instagram account and it took off. And very quickly I was like, oh wow, like what I love about TV is being in the restaurants, being in the kitchens, being the chefs, telling these stories. But TV's hard. It's a hard life. God bless everyone that works in TV.
Oh yeah, I know it.
And I realized pretty much immediately that like I could do that, but on my own, online, and on Instagram, on YouTube, now TikTok, wherever. And yeah, I've been doing this full time for 7 years.
Wow, but you've really kept and held on to that quality, that TV quality. You haven't turned into that type of food blogger that's just taking basic pictures. You're still getting the beautiful shots, and you're still giving honest reviews of like the different foods you're trying. So has it been hard to kind of stick to and stay true to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think like from the very beginning, when I started it, I wasn't technical at all. I didn't know how to use a camera, I didn't know how to touch a camera, I didn't know how to edit, but I realized I needed to teach myself how to do that. But I did realize that like with my background in TV, I at least had in my mind what I wanted, and I knew what I needed to produce. And it's always been a big part of my brand and everything I do is like, it should look professional, it should look higher end, it should stand out and be different. So it's sort of like, to me, a mix between TV and social media. It's still produced for social media, so differences there, but it is with real cameras, with real lights, with everything. I think like that distinction has helped me throughout. And honestly, I enjoy it more. I don't like filming with my cell phone.
Right.
Cell phones take beautiful photos, I tell, especially nowadays. But I love cameras and I love tech, and like I'm in that world. So that part of it makes me so much happier than a cell phone. I think that's much more important to me than like necessarily the authenticity of the content, which obviously is critical. But to me, it's like, I want to do what I love. The second I don't love doing this, I'm gonna go find something else.
Right. you like try the food on camera and you give like very descriptive reviews of the food, not just like, oh, it's good, oh, it's bad.
I try very hard because honestly, like it's something I struggle with. But sort of going back to my TV background, like I used to have to write all the scripts.
Right.
So we'd be going around the country, traveling and eating, and not that the host never actually had to follow that, but I always wanted a little outline in case they ever got lost.
Right.
So I would constantly have to write descriptions of food and what it tasted like without ever eating it.
Oh my God.
Because I'd be filming, be prepping back in New York to go film Oklahoma or whatever. So it kind of got good at like, okay, here are the ways to describe food that makes sense and make people want to eat it, which is the whole point.
So you have very good food vocabulary when it comes to like describing it. Okay, so
I try very hard to.
What is it that we have here?
So these are the Arias. Have you ever had one?
I had one once.
Okay.
What exactly is it?
So it's like a lamb sausage stuffed into a pita. What makes it so magical is that it cooks in the pita. So they first sear it on a flat top to get it like all crispy around the edges, and then they cook it in the oven. So all that fat from the lamb comes out and cooks in the pita, and it's just like unbelievable.
It sounds
my favorite. Like
unbelievable.
I'm literally drooling as I smell it and describe it to you.
Okay, so we're gonna have to try it right now.
Yes, let's try it. Yes.
And then the sauce is a tahini.
And it has the tahini with the little hot sauce in there.
Okay, well I live for sauce. So,
Good sauce. Yeah, get in there.
And then is this like a little tabbouleh type of salad, or?
Yes, a little. Yep. Oh man, my favorite thing in the whole world. It's juicy, so people.
Okay. Cheers.
Yes.
Wow. It's got a little bit of a kick.
That's a hot sauce in the tahini.
The hot sauce and the tahini. Okay. What are some words you would use to describe this?
Ooh, it's real hot. It's kicking me in the throat.
Oh no, don't joke. Don't die.
One time. I mean, to me, what I really love is like one the contrast in texture. It's super, super crispy outside, nice and soft in the middle. Lamb has a distinct flavor, and I think like I like that you're tasting the lamb, but you're also getting that nuttiness from the tahini mixed in there too. All that heat. It's just like such a.
It's so delicious.
So unbelievable.
And like the way the bread is cooked and the crispiness.
And all that fat in there too. It's just like it literally explodes. It actually explodes, and it's an explosion of flavor.
So good. Great review. So, other than where we are currently, like what has been your favorite place to film, or restaurant to go to, or dish you have tried in New York City?
Oh, in New York City. You know, like to me, I like to film the way I eat. So I really don't do a lot of bigger, nicer restaurant kind of stuff. Like I like more
Down and dirty.
Yeah, maybe not even down and dirty, but more casual.
Okay.
I guess even just like, I don't know, give me the best pizza in New York City, like Joe's Pizza's classic, the best, like that's the kind of stuff. And digging deeper, obviously everyone knows the Joe's Pizza, but like that's the kind of stuff.
But it's good.
Or even like I filmed at Emmons on Grove a few weeks ago.
So good.
So like Emmons was here for years doing Chicago deep dish, and I was doing Chicago bar tavern style pizza.
Right.
And it's like, okay, cool, like I've never had that type of pizza. And it's amazing food, the whole menu is really cool, and the vibe is cool. Like, okay, finding that kind of stuff is what excites me. So that's what's going to make an exciting video beyond like, I don't want to do a food porn video. That's not exciting to me.
Right.
Of course, it's incorporating to what I do.
Yeah.
But that's not what I look for necessarily. I just look for like what I want to eat, and then how do I tell that story.
So, when you get sucked into trends, or it sounds like you don't get sucked into trends, I guess would be a better way to put it.
Yes.
But have you tried some of the, trendy restaurants and, that
Like-
might be overhyped?
Like what?
Well, we have a list.
Okay, give me the list. Who has the list?
I'm gonna read through it.
Okay.
So the first one is, and these are all submitted.
Okay. All right.
Carbone.
No, not overrated at all. Here's why I think people think it's overrated.
Okay.
It is an expensive restaurant, but to me, like, there's honestly very few dining experiences that are like that in New York City, and the food is unbelievable, and it's a special occasion thing. I think people think it's overrated because every time you go on TikTok, some girl is telling you to go to Carbone,
Right.
and everyone's like, I know Carbone, all right? I get that side of it, but I do think they back it up. So I'm gonna say not overrated.
Okay.
Thumbs up for that.
Thumbs up for
Thumbs
the
up
trend.
for Carbone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Via Carota.
almost the same thing. Like, I understand when people think that because people talk about it, but like, people talk about it for a reason. It's good.
Okay.
Not overrated. Thumbs up. 2 for 2.
Thumbs up from Corona.
And also, like, I guess these are more trendy than viral, though.
Trendy, yeah.
These are more trendy.
But they've gone viral. Like, I feel like that's what makes.
I mean, yeah, you get the spicy
right?
rigatoni, and
That's a viral. I guess.
But in my mind, viral is stupid.
Okay.
Where I would never call
Interesting.
when you say viral dish, I think of like fireworks exploding out of a cheeseburger. You know what I mean? Like that's what does well on TikTok, and and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Kind
Right.
of stuff.
Okay. That's fair.
But trendy, I'm okay with.
Okay, so you love sushi.
Love sushi.
Nobu.
Again, I'm not going to go overrated. I think all these are for the same thing. Where like, yes, there's definitely better sushi in New York City than the Nobu, 100%. But I do think it's fun. The food's good. You know what you're getting. You're not going to go there and be like, oh, that sucked.
Okay, that's fair. What about Oshaval? Because that's kind of a viral, like they bring it with a knife in it.
I've not been.
Okay.
I've not been. So
Oh, we've got one you haven't been to.
I mean, listen, there's a million places in New York City I haven't been to.
American Bar.
Which one's that one? I guess I've never been there. What's American Bar?
Overhyped.
What is it?
It's overhyped. It's like a trendy spot.
Is it like a bar or a restaurant?
It's a restaurant. It's kind of cool because it's like American style, like kind of like bar food, like elevated bar food.
Where is this place?
It's like in Greenwich Village.
Oh, okay.
By Fiddlesticks.
Okay. I've never been there. I have nothing to say about that place either, I guess.
So, you said your Instagram kind of happened on accident. It took off. You weren't expecting it to take off, and now it's your full-time job. So, I don't think you would ever consider yourself an influencer. You're a content creator of sorts.
Well, here's the thing. Yes, I kind of like the word content creator better, but at the same time, I'm paid because I'm an influencer.
Right.
That's my job.
Yes.
I understand the bad connotations that word now has, sort of.
Yeah.
But that's why I get paid. Because to me, it's beyond it. It's like actually being able to influence, I say, is different than having a lot of followers.
Right.
Because one doesn't always mean the other.
Yeah.
You could have a ton of followers, but you don't influence anything.
Yeah.
They don't care what you have to say.
Right.
And then there's no value to what you bring. Or the other way around, where you could have a smaller audience, you could be a micro-influencer, whatever you want to call yourself, but you have value because every single one of those people listens to what you have to say. So, yeah, I understand it's taken some weird connotation, but that's what I do. That's why I make money. That's why people pay me.
And there's more impact in it than like a general, like if people
Anyone
don't care.
could make content, I guess. But it's different to actually influence.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times people get them sort of crossed and confused.
Right. So how have you like made sure that you're staying true to your brand and not kind of going down the rabbit hole that can be influencing?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's about being able to go with the flow of it a little bit. You don't want to swim against it always. I understand that urge. I definitely have that urge because I do think a big part of it is like being unique and standing out and doing that. But at the same time, if you're gonna like dig your feet into the sand, like I'm just gonna do this, you gotta play the game in the industry a little bit. And I think it's finding that balance of like, obviously only creating content that you're happy with.
Right.
And being authentic and all those things. At the same time, like playing the game, like I love making videos. That is more my background than anything else. But like I love photography. I love taking photos. I have film cameras, always cameras and everything. But I also realize that like the value for algorithm reasons and every reason is making videos.
Right.
So I take less photos. I would love to just it's a lot easier for me to take a photo of this dish and make a whole video. But I know that like that can't sustain what I do. So I gotta play the game. Instead of coming here doing that, I make a whole video, make my life way harder, but you have to do that.
Right.
If you say no flash, I would say never flash.
Never flash.
Never flash. Oh boy. But I will say this: if you want to have your friend pull out their cell phone, you could use a light. If it's super dark, you need light. So you can turn on the phone. A good thing to do is the light could be a little bright. Here it's hard to tell, but
makeup or no makake? Do you glisten it with anything? Do you?
Well, in a restaurant, you can't always do that.
Was Brunch Boys, has it always been you? There was never a plural boys?
So the original name Brunch Boys, which is still the name of my company, where it's no longer the name of my handles anywhere.
Okay.
The original concept, this is before influencers, this is years and years and years ago. I just wanted to make an online show. The online show was called Brunch Boys, and there were 2 of us in it.
Okay.
And I registered all the names everywhere. So we made a few of those episodes, but very quickly it took off in this whole other direction.
Okay.
So technically yes, but in terms of like the creative behind it is always just me.
It's just you. Okay. So you mentioned on your page that you lost 100 pounds. How long ago was that?
A little over a decade ago.
Okay, so when food is your job and your livelihood, like how do you balance a healthy lifestyle and make sure that you're incorporating healthy habits and whatnot, but you still have to try, or you don't have to, you're choosing to try what food you're trying.
You have to, if you're going to post about it, you kind of have to try.
If you're going to play the game.
You kind of have to try. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just all about balance in terms of like the work and life. Like I always explain to people, like, don't look at my feed and assume that's the way I eat. Watch my stories.
Right.
Which where I share every last thing what I eat, where it's very boring and healthy. Like when I order in from Tall Chairs, I don't order this. I order their Greek salad of chicken. There is that balance, and you can still eat good, and you still eat a lot. Like I also work out every single day. Like I need to eat, but maintaining the balance has made it a lot easier for me to be in this industry where it's hard. People want to give you food all the time. And part of what I do too is like I don't really do comped meals because I find that if I do a comp meal, every dish out of the kitchen is coming out, which I appreciate. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't eat like that. So I really don't. And when I go places, listen, dishes are sent out, they know I'm there. I appreciate it's amazing. I love eating food, I love tasting everything, but I've been doing this a very long time. I've been doing this way before Instagram, or Instagram existed, but this influencer lifestyle, I guess.
And TikTok and
all that stuff. So like, being around food and producing food content for over a decade, you learn quickly, like, get your shit in order.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that's with anything in life too. Especially when it comes to like content creation and making it clear that like what you're putting out every day is not everything.
It's an exaggerated reality.
An exaggerated reality. Exactly. So what is your favorite dish you have ever tried anywhere in the world?
Sure, throw me in the softball question. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I will just say, when I went to Japan, it was the best food of all time.
Okay,
I'll pick something even super simple just to perfectly explain what I mean by this. Like, you go to 7-Eleven Japan, or in America, you don't want to go to 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Sorry, 7-Eleven. But you go there in Japan, and you get an egg salad sando. And here, you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But in Japan, like, it's like $1.50. It's the greatest thing of all time. Just because like they care about everything. It doesn't even matter what level of food you're getting in Japan. The care and thought of execution and ingredients and everything is awesome. So I ate multiple of those sandwiches every single day. I was there for 3 weeks.
I've seen people get sushi at 7-Elevens in Hawaii.
And
then they have like hand rolls.
Yeah, hell yeah. I bet you it's amazing.
Yeah, they look amazing. So, but what, aside from a 7-Eleven sandwich in Japan, did you eat?
I like the casual stuff. So I was there for 3 weeks. Like, honestly, like, some of the best pizza I've ever had in Japan.
Really?
Well, here's the thing. Again, going back to like the Japanese being a perfectionist a lot. Pizza is something you need to perfect. The dough needs to be perfect. So what they did was, it's called like Tokyo style, and it's like Neapolitan style. Literally, someone went to Italy and was like, I like this, I'm gonna make this in Japan, but it's that style, but think like way more olive oil, like a pool of olive oil in the middle, and way more salty. It is unbelievable.
That sounds good. All right, we're gonna have to try that. All right, well, thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank you for having me.
And I think we should dig into the rest of this.
Starving, yes.
Awesome.